Hi there, coming back again with another Blu-ray DVD update. I'm going to start things off with a couple of TV shows, then I'll move into updates, or upgrades, sorry, and then I'll move into the new additions to the collection. So start things off, I got Season 1 of Ash vs. the Evil Dead here on Blu-ray. This awesome, cool, I don't even know what you call this, holographic lenticular cover. It doesn't really do anything but change colors, but it's really cool. Love this show. It's really awesome. For those who don't know, it takes place after Army of Darkness, but I don't think it's really connected to that. I'm not sure. I think they couldn't get the rights, but whatever. It's just a continuation of the Evil Dead series. Years have gone past, and Ash is still working at that. I think it's like a electronics sort of store or what have you, like a I don't know, like a chain, and through some hilarious events he unlocks the undead again, and they come to terrorize his life and a few new companions that he has. Pretty great season, 10 episodes. I'm really looking forward to the new season here coming out soon. Awesome special effects. First episode's directed by Sam Raimi, and he did an amazing job setting the precedent. And the music's excellent, and Ash is just as awesome as ever. So yeah, that's Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I also picked up something I've always wanted to upgrade. Another pretty cool must-have on Blu-ray for me, and that is The Sopranos, the complete series. I got this for just a little over $100. I'm so happy to finally be, and I sold my DVD versions of it for about $60, so I didn't really end up spending a lot on this. But here's the side, the front. It comes with a slipcase, but I took it off just so you can kind of see all the seasons. I'm not going to take them out though, because to be honest, I like the art that they used on the DVDs a little better, because each cover here is just a picture of one of the characters' faces. So got season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 part 1, 6 part 2, and a new bonus feature disc, which is pretty cool. Right now I'm on season 4, about halfway through it, so I'm really enjoying Sopranos as always. I think this is my 5th time watching through it. So yeah, I'm super happy to have upgraded that. So speaking of more upgrades, I'm going to start with a big stack of upgrades, and then we'll get into the new stuff. No DVDs this time, so it's more of a Blu-ray update, but whatever. This is The Judge here. Really enjoyed this movie. For the upgrades, I'm not going to really talk about them too much. I've probably already talked about them, but awesome movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall. It also came with a digital copy, so I'm going to give that away right now. 1, 2, 3, and first come, first serve on that. Hope you enjoy. But yeah, The Judge, really great movie from two awesome actors. I got Blade 2, and Blade Trinity. I like Blade. I pretty much like them in the way they came out. Blade's my favorite. It's actually really awesome. Blade 2's pretty great. I like it second best. And Blade 3, I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say, but it's definitely not the greatest out of the three, in the story-wise and action-wise. But the story in number 1's awesome. Number 2's got a neat story, but the action's really cool. So yeah, that's the Blade trilogy. I had that in like a one DVD set. Like it came all 3 movies in a DVD, so happy to finally upgrade them all to Blu-ray. Picked up The Crow, really cool, a stunning work of visual style. Really enjoy this movie. Brandon Lee's great in it. I had one that had the same deal with Blade. It had The Crow, City of Angels, and then 2 more movies, Salvation and something else. But I didn't really need those other 3 movies. This one's the second movie's pretty good. If I ever come across it alone on Blu-ray, maybe I'll grab it. But all I really need is The Crow on Blu-ray. It's really good. Action's cool. The design of The Crow is really cool, and Brandon Lee does a really good job menacing-wise. Everybody knows what The Crow's about. He gets murdered brutally with his girlfriend, and a year later he comes back to seek revenge through the power of the crow. Pretty cool stuff. Moving on, I got Troy here on Blu-ray. Was really happy to upgrade this to Blu-ray because it really does look awesome on Blu. This is the director's cut. It is like, I think this one's like 3 hours and 16 minutes or something like that, and the original cut's under 3 hours. It's like 2:45 from what I remember. I might be wrong, but this is a lot bigger, a lot longer, and a lot more fleshed out. It actually does make a good little difference. It's little things. But yeah, I love Troy. I think this movie's awesome. Brad Pitt's great when he's fighting. I think the story's really good, and the action scenes are ridiculously awesome. Some of the war parts are just crazy, and like they're so much more violent in this edition, I think. I was noticing things. But anyways, that's a great movie. I picked up The Great Outdoors. Uncle Buck had both of these on a double DVD, and Great Outdoors had finally come out. I was waiting for it. Picked up Uncle Buck like a week or two before, so these are some classic John Hughes movies. This isn't directed by him, but he did write it, and yeah, so these two movies are hilarious. John Candy's awesome, and in this one, Dan Aykroyd is the shit. I like Uncle Buck quite a bit, but I think I like Great Outdoors a little bit more. Let me go introduce Mr. Thick Dick to Mr. Urinal Puck. Urinal Cake, I think he says. That movie just makes me laugh. I think it's very classic. And yeah, both of them are great, though. If you haven't seen either one and you like comedies, you should definitely get on these classics. John Candy. Still wish he was still around making comedies, because he would be doing it awesome, but whatever. I picked up Beer League here on Blu-ray. I was surprised to come across this because I hadn't been able to find it on DVD for a long time, and I ended up going to a city, and I found it searching through the store on Blu-ray for $5. It was actually cheaper than $5 because there was every $5 title. If you bought 5 of them, you got them for $20, so a little under $5. So yeah, Beer League, pretty great. I think this movie's funny. Artie Lang's great in it. It's definitely cheesy, and the acting's a little underwhelming, but it's fine. I don't expect a lot from comedies. I just want them to make me laugh. They can't all be directed by John Hughes or written by him. Reign Over Me. This is a really cool comedy drama. What do they call that? Dramedy. And it's a good movie with Don Cheadle and Adam Sandler. Really doing a good job acting-wise. He plays this kind of destroyed man who lost his family through some tragic events, and it's about him like building himself up again and becoming a normal person and all that stuff. It's also got Jada Pinkett Smith and Liv Tyler. Yeah, Liv Tyler. And yeah, I've always really enjoyed this movie. And again, Adam Sandler, when he wants to act, he can. Like Punch Drunk Love, he's awesome in that. He's great in this. And yeah, so definitely, if you haven't seen that movie, check it out. If you're expecting just normal Adam Sandler comedy, though, you're going to be surprised. It's not really a very straight-up comedy. It has some funny parts, but overall, it's more of a drama. Groundhog Day, simply a classic. Bill Murray's one of my favorites of all time. I have a Bill Murray section. That's how much I like him. And this movie is probably one of his top movies. I love it. It's just a shame this movie kind of broke up him and Harold Rami's friendship, but it is what it is. That sort of happens after a while, once, you know. But this is a really cool movie. But this dude who gets stuck in a time loop, and he has to keep going through the same day over and over and over again until he can get it just right. And from what I've read up on this movie, the writers had thought of it like he's been stuck in this day for thousands of, years and stuff. It's just crazy. But yeah, I think this movie's hilarious. I think it's really good. It's cool sci-fi. And it just kind of like speaks to you. It's got a really good message in it. So yeah, Groundhog Day. Happy to pick that up for $10, I think. Not even, I think. Sleepy Hollow here. Picked this up along with Beer League. I've been wanting to find this for a while on Blu-ray, and happy I finally did. Great This is one of my favorite Tim Burton adaptation movies. Johnny Depp's great as Ichabod, Christina Ricci, Christopher Walken, the Headless Horseman. Cool movie. I picked up Lake Placid, the Scream Factory edition. It's a really cool upgrade for me. I've always wanted to get this on Blu-ray. I think this is the only way you can get it. It's quite expensive normally, but it came down to about $17 on a sale, and I was happy to swoop in and pick it up. Bridget Fonda, Bill Pullman, Oliver Platt, and Betty White, and a big-ass fucking crocodile. The special effects in this movie are great. So many special features as normal with a Scream Factory. So yeah, I was happy to get this and watch it again. This is kind of like a guilty pleasure for me. I know they're not like the best movies, but I definitely enjoy it a lot. So well, that's Lake Placid. And the completely underwhelming sequel, which isn't an upgrade, didn't have it before, but I might as well put it beside Lake Placid 2, which has some of the worst special effects I've ever seen. They couldn't even afford a plane, so they CG'd one, and there's moments where the plane just sort of disappears from where it was in the scene, in the shot, and just bad. This one is a very bad. Okay, the acting's kind of cheese. It is cheese, and yeah, but it's still okay. I just kind of have a thing for giant crocodile movies, I guess. I've always enjoyed that sort of thing. Anaconda, Congo. I've always liked those sort of movies. Anyways, moving along. 48 Hours. I wish another 48 Hours was even on Blu-ray, so I have to keep my DVD copy, but for now I did upgrade the first movie. Great classic buddy cop sort of movie, although Eddie Murphy's not a cop, he's a con, but same idea. And yeah, 48 Hours. Really enjoyed this movie. I think it's funny. Walter Hill's an excellent director. And yeah, Nick Nolte gets mad all the time, and Eddie Murphy's hilarious. So I think that was my movie that kind of put him on the fast track to fame, along with a few other things he did. Moving on to new additions to the collection. Picked up Young Guns. Really good movie. I like the sequel too. It's not as good, but this movie here is pretty cool. You got your Billy the Kid, you got Doc, you got all these other classic Western characters, and it's got Kiefer Sutherland, Emilio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney, and Casey Siemaszko. I don't know how that's said, and quite a few other people pop up in the normal cast. And yeah, it's a pretty cool movie, but these outlaws who kind of get sheriff duty, or they become deputies or sheriffs, or I think they're like deputized to go hunt down these really bad outlaw scum, and they're outlaws themselves, so before long they're going well outside the lines of what they're asked to do, and taking things too far, especially because of Billy the Kid, who's a little off his rocker. Emilio Estevez plays him really good. Cool finale to this movie. Lots of really fun parts, and just a great Western overall. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I like the sequel, but definitely not as much as the first one. I picked up $1 Million Baby here with Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, Morgan Freeman. Great boxing movie about these two old boxing trainers. Clint Eastwood had been training this like really up and coming boxer, and he ends up leaving him for what he thinks are greener pastures, a better trainer. I think he's what he thinks is going to happen, and he's left to kind of like pick up the pieces. This young woman here, Hilary Swank, comes into his life, and she's determined to be trained by him, even though he will not train women, he says. And before long, she kind of like wins him over, and then he trains her. She becomes an amazing boxer and a champion, fights tons of fights, kicks ass throughout them all. Maggie is her name, and yeah, before long, some tragic event happens, and the movie takes a big shift. And like the ending, it was quite dramatic and sad. First time I watched it, I was upset by it. It like made me cry and stuff. But this time around, when I rewatched it, I didn't find it as dramatic. Maybe it's just because I seen what was coming. But yeah, I really do enjoy this movie. Hilary Swank knocks it out of the park. She's got a troubled family life, and it's cool that they examine that and spend some time building up her character that way. Clint Eastwood's awesome, as usual. He writes, directs. Actually, I don't think he writes it. No, Paul Haggis wrote it. But he produced, directed, and he also did the music. And it's just a really, really, really classically well done movie. So if you haven't seen $1 Million Baby, and you like boxing movies especially, definitely check this one out. Moving on, I got Wanted here. Picked it up with a slipcover. It had a big sticker on it. It was kind of a task to get it off. But yeah, Wanted's a pretty cool, kind of like a spy movie. Not really. It's about this like group of assassins, and this dude, I can never remember his name. I think it's James McAvoy. I think that's who it is. He is kind of like this young dude who doesn't have a lot going in his life. He's kind of used and abused by people all around him. And one day, these assassins come into his life, and they have like a fraternity of them, and they like pick him up. He's being hunted down by this other assassin guy, and they like train him to kill this guy. And yeah, it's pretty. And then there's some twists and turns along the way, the betrayal, all that stuff. Angelina Jolie's pretty great as the assassin. I think her name's Fox. Morgan Freeman again is like the leader of them in this movie, and they get like their assassin targets from this like pretty cool design thing. Wouldn't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. This is based on a graphic novel from what I remember. And yeah, some great action, really cool effects with the gun shot. They're able to like curve their bullets. And yeah, it's a wicked movie. I think it was really great. I always expected that they'd have a sequel or something, but I guess they never got to it. But yeah, that's Wanted. Really good movie. Really cool movie if you haven't seen that one. Moving right along, trying to keep these videos down to a nice level, or a nice time period, so if I seem like I'm rushing, I want to go fast, but I don't want to rush. Anyways, White Men Can't Jump, starring Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. Really great comedy movie about these two hustlers in basketball, and their paths cross, and they decide to team up. Woody Harrelson, and they have just awesome chemistry in this movie. They have hilarious like back and forth between them, and they're just constantly trying to win money. Again, with sometimes betrayal happens throughout this movie, but in the end they become really great friends, and they have to work together to get a leg up. And Woody Harrelson's he owes a bunch of money to some loan sharks or whatever they are. They seem like mafiosos. So he has his, his motivation. Wesley Snipes has a family, and he wants to move up in the world a little bit and, provide for them. So he has his motivation. What's her name? Rosie Perez is in this movie. She's really great in it. And, yeah, this is a fun basketball movie, comedy. And I would highly recommend it if you've never seen it. White Man Can't Jump. I resent the title, the implications of the title. Although, as being a white man, I can tell you we can't. So, anyways, moving along. Trading Places here. Another great early Eddie Murphy movie. Dan Aykroyd, again, is awesome in this movie. And it's just a bet that these two rich guys make to see if they traded these two people's positions in life. Eddie Murphy being like a homeless person who's constantly trying to scam money out of people. Criminal element to him. And Dan Aykroyd, who's this highfalutin stockman, like he's in stocks and trading, and yeah, these two like rich arseholes make a dollar bet to see who will win, or like who will be more successful, and it's kind of a weird thing that plot wise, directed by John Landis. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Awesome, hilarious performances by the two leads here, and it's cool the way that it all plays out in the end. They kind of come together. Jamie Lee Curtis is great in this movie, and she's super super naked for quick scenes, but they're good. And she's quite young in the movie, and yeah, really great fun movie. I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen Trading Places, definitely check it out. And it's a very funny movie. I had watched it quite a bit over the years, but it'd been a long time since I last watched it, so I kind of was, hazy on what actually all goes down in the movie, and rewatching it, I just loved it. Thought it was great. So moving right along, I picked up the John Hughes trilogy here. I got 16 Candles in the pop art collection. I got The Breakfast Club, which I already showed in previous movies, but I might as well show you here. Previous video, and I picked up Weird Science. So I got the whole original John Hughes collection in pop art. 16 Candles, really great movie about this girl's path through high school and family life and all that jazz. And it's classic John Hughes. They have a party, like all this funny, hilarious hijinks go down, and yeah, all the characters are great, and it's just a good film. I'd never seen this one before. Either or same goes for Weird Science, but I took the risk because it's John Hughes, and I tried them out, and they were both awesome. Weird Science, Anthony Michael Hall plays a character with his friend who create this through some hilariously cheesy science fiction aspects. They create this perfect woman who comes into their life, and they kind of, I think it's funny, I think Kevin Smith says it, he's like, they build this perfect sex doll woman who comes to life, but nobody will fuck her. And yeah, that's kind of the deal. But it's cool because this woman ends up kind of trying to help them flesh out themselves as men or whatever, and do something for themselves instead of just being a bunch of nerds who stay home all the time and all that jazz and never say anything to any girls. And yeah, it's just a really good movie. I really enjoyed this one. I think it's just awesome and cool. It's very cool. And yeah, Bill Pullman in this movie is hilarious. But yeah, awesome classic John Hughes movies here. So happy to finally have the original trilogy here, all in these really cool new pop art collections. I wouldn't mind getting I already have Days of Confused on Blu-ray, but I wouldn't mind getting the slipcover for it at some point down the line, the pop art one. So yeah, that's it. That's it for them. I'm gonna move right along. I picked up Pleasantville here. When did I pick this up? I think I got it the same day that I got that 5 for 5 deal. And yeah, Pleasantville, pretty awesome, interesting movie. And it's zany and kind of out there, but at the same time it's really good and really fun. And that's Pleasantville here, and that is Tobey Maguire, Reese Witherspoon, what's his name? Jeff Daniels is in this movie, Joan Allen and William H. Macy, and it's really cool. It's about these two kids who meet this like magical Don Knotts TV repairman who sends them into the show that's kind of like Leave It to Beaver style. And they get sent into the show, and everything's black and white. And as they start, changing the way all the people in the show are and act and bringing their own selves into it, people start becoming colorful. And it's kind of a play on society and like the differences and, racism and stuff like that. And before long, a bunch of people start turning color, and other people want to stay white or black and white, and they're all arguing about that. And people's minds get awoken by when they talk about the books that are on the shelves that are usually just empty pages fill up, and people become completely taken in by all this stuff. And then there's a race riot, essentially, and then the whole movie comes together at the end. I wouldn't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it's a really fun, good comedy with a cool little message woven in throughout the whole thing. So yeah, if you haven't seen Pleasantville, definitely check it out. I would, if you've never heard of this movie, I would definitely at least check out a trailer. But it was pretty big when it came out, from what I remember. and I got that again for $5, so I was pretty happy with that. Same day, The Island, Michael Bay movie. And this is Michael Bay, doing a pretty decent movie. I enjoy this one. I know it's not the best film ever, but it's got really cool action scenes, cool story to it. Ian McGregor, Scarlett Johansson in her prime. She's just super gorgeous in this movie. And yeah, a really good cast. The way it's shot is excellent. Classic Michael Bay. And the action, there's a few scenes, like this chase scene on a highway, that is just awesome. But essentially what it's about is there's this place called, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it's like a facility, and all these people wake up there, and they're under the assumption that there's some sort of event that's gone out in the world, and the whole world's contaminated. But Ian McGregor and his generation of people who have been brought into this facility all start becoming aware that something ain't right. Before long, he breaks out with this girl he really does like, as Scarlett Johansson. I can't remember her character's name. And they break out of the place, and before long, it's made quite clear that people in this facility who are being tricked into saying they're going to the island, they all peter out. It's like a lottery, and these people go to this fantasy, paradise, and it becomes clear that they're being these people are clones of rich, high-class people who have bought the right to get themselves cloned, and then if they have any medical problems, or they want to just simply, when they get older, live longer, they just harvest these people for organs. And but the people on the outside are under the impression that these people are just vegetables, but to actually have the organs work, the people have to be alive. It's a little convoluted, but I don't know, I go with it. It just kind of works to me. It might not be the smartest sci-fi movie ever, but it just seems to work. And I really did enjoy this movie. I think it's fun. It's got, classic. I think Michael Bay's best when he, does something cool like this, like in a, an original movie filled with lots of action. This one has a lot of cool sci-fi elements to it. So yeah, that's The Island. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Getting into, the rest are all new releases, so I got 7 movies left here, so I'll go through them relatively quick. The Nice Guys here. This is a really awesome movie, one of my favorites of the year, starring Russell Crowe, Ryan Gosling, directed and written by Shane Black, and it's about these two very different sort of well, Russell Crowe's not really a private detective. He kind of is in a way. He just goes around righting wrongs for people who pay him to do so. And Ryan Gosling is more of a private detective who kind of rips off his people. It's a very funny movie, and then they end up through the plot. I'm not going to say anything about the plot exactly, other than there's this missing girl, and they're hired to find out what's going on. And because I like the way the plot plays out, it's really cool. I never really knew exactly what to expect. Ryan Gosling has this daughter who's really good in the movie, and yeah, they just have really funny chemistry together. I think it's a really great movie. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys this year, this is definitely one of the best movies of the year to me. Ryan Gosling is very funny in this movie. Kim Basinger makes an appearance. There's a couple other familiar faces. But yeah, that's The Nice Guys. I also have the digital copy here I'm going to give away. Nice Guys. So there's the digital copy. 1, 2, 3. First come, first serve. So yes, that's The Nice Guys. Great film. Definitely check it out. It's just, I don't know, I don't really have any critiques of this movie. I thought it was excellent. There's nothing wrong with it to me. It's definitely a movie I've already watched 3 times, so I really do enjoy it. So moving on, one of my favorite new directors is John Watts, and this is his first movie that I've been waiting for it to come out on this side of the world for a long time. It didn't even come out here in Canada, at least where I could find it, so I ended up ordering it import style from America. But yeah, that's Clown. This is a really awesome movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I just think it's so great. And yeah, it's about this dude who he's having what is it, like a birthday party for his kid, and the clown that was supposed to show up that day cancels. I think he's like all drunk or something, and he goes up into the attic and he finds this old clown suit. He puts on the clown suit, and the party goes off without a hitch. He wakes up the next day. He can't get, like, he tries to take the clown suit off at night. It won't come off. Wakes up the next day, it won't come off. And no matter what he does, he can't get any of it off. And before long, he starts, like, transforming into this, like, clown demon. And, like, throughout the movie, you're told, like, this story of how, like, the original clown was, like, this crazy demon. And for him to stop being a clown, he has to eat 5 children. It's really crazy. Like, as he's eating them, he's like spitting up their bones, and it's hardcore, this movie. I thought it was awesome. Really cool slipcover. The eyes are like glossy and they kind of shine. It's really cool. Yeah, produced by Eli Roth. But yeah, John Watts is definitely one of my favorite new directors. He directed this. And there's this crazy part where he's at like this play, it kind of reminds me of the old McDonald ball pit child area, and he's just like hiding in it. It's so creepy. But John Watts here directed Cop Car, which I also just loved. I thought that movie was awesome and underrated. And now he's directing the upcoming Spider-Man relaunch, Homecoming, I think it's called. It's like the cross between Sony and Marvel. It's part of Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Sony still owns the character. But yeah, John Watts is awesome. This movie's great. There's no, like, pretty much all the actors to me, except for the Russian dude from Bad Boys, I can't remember his name. They're pretty much all just like unknown actors, but they all do a really good job, especially the main guy here, and the little kid's really good. So if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. And I also have a digital copy for it, so this is a really cool one to grab. So if you haven't seen this movie, it sounded interesting to you, definitely jump on this code. So that's clown. I don't know if you can see that. I'll read it off for you real quick. ABCQ25ZSMXJV0NV5. So yeah, hopefully you can grab that code. Great film. I love it. So, moving on. All really cool new releases, movies. This one I haven't seen yet. Don't really have much to say, other than I'm looking forward to it. I think it looks really great. Gonna be funny. Neighbors 2. Zac Efron, Seth MacFarlane. What's her name? Rose Byron, and Chloe Grace Moretz. So apparently this movie is very similar to the first one, kind of what is it? It's like a female kind of college. I can't remember what that's called. A sorority, I think it's called. They move in next door to them, and so now they have a new fight to fight, and they kind of bring Zac Efron on board to help them. So, like I said, I haven't seen this movie. I just picked it up, so I'm looking forward to throwing it in here soon. And yeah, it looks pretty funny from what I've seen in the trailers. So yeah, that is Neighbors 2. Here's another one I haven't seen, but pretty much right as soon as this video's over, I'm going to get some beer, and I'm watching this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. Heard it's awesome. You got your classic Turtle. I love the first reboot of the Turtles. I thought it was great, especially the more I watched it. I really did enjoy it. But this one apparently just takes that and does it even more awesome. It's got Shredder, it's got his little hench girl, apparently Krang, and the Tetradrome are in this. You got Bebop and Rocksteady, Casey Jones, just everything, it's awesome. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Apparently it's just great. The special effects, I imagine, are going to be awesome. So yeah, I picked up the 3D edition because the edition that was out came with this stupid like mask thing. They did it with the first one too, and it's like attached to the slipcover, so that's stupid to me. I couldn't find just a normal edition. Maybe they'll bring it out later with a fine slip, but I'm fine with this. They also had a really cool it's like a Turtles the like van that they drive, but it's like a lunchbox. Came with the first movie and this one, and a bunch of like the masks, and but it was about the same price as this. But I said the hell with it. I don't have any place to put that thing, so I was just happy to pick this up. I don't have much to say about the story other than I'm very excited to watch it, and I will be after this video. So another new one that I loved, we got Civil War, Captain America. Awesome movie, just awesome. And yeah, it's about the Avengers kind of being policed by S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government because of what has happened destruction-wise from previous movies. And they all, Captain America and a few, like pretty much they all get split down the middle. Thor and the Hulk aren't in this movie, but pretty much the Avengers get split down the middle. And Captain America says, you know, it's not right, you know, they're going to be policed, and you know, they're going to be told they can't go to places when they need to be, and told to go to places where they don't need to be, and you know, be interfering constantly. And you know, he's got a point, but Tony Stark, you know, feels guilty for things that have happened because of what they've done, and he feels they should be policed. So they're fundamentally split down the middle, and Captain America goes out of his way to kind of he pretty much breaks the new, what are they called, the I can't remember, Sokovia Accords. He breaks them. Tony Stark and his side of the fight all team up, and they have a big clash in the middle of the movie at this airport, and it's seriously some of the best comic book scenes, action we've ever seen in any of the movies. I still, this is easily the best Marvel Universe movie to me. I loved it. It also introduces Black Panther. Yeah, and it's just awesome. We get Scarlet Witch, we got Hawkeye, the Vision's in this, and yeah, it's just a great movie. The Winter Soldier's back. War Machine's in this. Just and then the introduction to the new Spider-Man, who pops up near the end of the movie. About three quarters of the way, he shows up for some small scenes, and then he becomes part of that airport scene, which is awesome. The end's awesome. To me, the villain of this movie is really good because he's not like some crazy, grandiose alien, you know, villain. He's just a normal dude with like straight up vengeance in his heart, and the way he goes about manipulating the whole situation is just perfect to me. I think a lot of people were just like, that's stupid, you know. I don't know. I don't understand I think it's great that they just had the normal dude who caused all this trouble. But yeah, in the end, there's some pretty cool things explored. And yeah, I highly recommend this. Some of the best comic book action I've seen in any of the Marvel movies. So definitely check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, but that's Civil War here on Blu-ray. And I got it on 3D because apparently Marvel and Disney doesn't decide to put slipcovers on any of their Marvel movies unless it's a 3D one. I don't understand that logic, but whatever. It's worth the money to me to just have them all look cool. So yeah, got 2 movies left. Here's Disney's The Jungle Book live action edition. Jon Favreau directed this movie. Stars Bill Murray as Baloo, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, Idris Elba as Shere Khan, Scarlett Johansson's in this as Kaa, the snake, and Christopher Walken's hilarious as what's his name, King Louie, who's now a Gigantopithecus. I can't even pronounce that, but he's a lot bigger than he was in the cartoon. But pretty much this is an awesome it's similar to the animated version, but it's reimagined. And yeah, the special effects in this movie should definitely be up for some sort of special effects Academy Award, because it's just amazing. It looks amazing. The sound effects and all that are great. Just the technical aspects of this movie alone are awesome. But the actual story and the way it all plays out and all the characters are so well done and handled. I highly recommend this movie. They do 2 songs from the original animated version, but they don't, they come across, well, not so much King Louie's song. It kind of just like they start singing. But like The Bare Necessities with Bill Murray, it's very organic, and it just kind of comes across like, you know, it's not forced. Oh, we're doing a song part here. It just feels right, you know? And yeah, I highly recommend this movie. The kid who plays Mowgli does an excellent job. And yeah, definitely check this out. If you're a fan of the original, if you haven't seen the original, it's just a great movie. Jon Favreau really did a good job with that. And it's easily the best live-action Disney animated live-action version that I've seen. So the last movie in the collection is in this video here is also another Disney, the new signature collection of Beauty and the Beast. So very happy to have this. Got a beautiful slipcover here. Comes with all the special features from previous releases. I had the 3D edition with no slip. I sold it and easily got what I paid for this and then some, so I was really happy with that. So yeah, that's Beauty and the Beast. I'm definitely looking forward down the line to checking that out again. Haven't seen it in quite a while. I remember really loving it. Everyone knows what that's about, so I don't need to talk about it. I have one more digital copy that's not in this collection, but I thought I'd throw it in for good measure. Here's Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, and here's the code right here. You should be able to see that with it. The only things that look weird are the 4s, so 1, 2, 3, good luck, get that code. Just thought I'd throw that code in there for good luck. So yeah, that's my haul this month, and this is actually a little bit overflow from last month. So yeah, we're very happy with all these grabs. So as always, if you like this video, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Comment below if you have anything to say about any of the grabs I picked up. And yeah, as always, be easy. Weird science.